Hi, my name is Tommy Kelly. Guys, and welcome back to another video. Today what I want to actually touch upon is obviously why go vegan. So I've written a lot of things down here on my phone, so please bear with me, follow me as much as you can. Like I say, do you care about the animals? Do you want to stop their suffering? Then obviously the best way to do that is obviously to go vegan. But obviously as well, every little bit you can do, even if it's 1 or 2 days a week, every little bit helps before you can actually transition to being fully vegan. Because like I say, a lot of people have health conditions, mental illness and things, and it's just not possible for everybody. But every little you can do, it definitely helps. So like I say, cutting out animal products and being vegan means voting every single day of your life with your knife and fork, and by obviously the choice of clothing that you wear says about animal cruelty. There's obviously now a fantastic range of vegan products on the market to make it easy for obviously you to transition. Some people, I say, they can go vegan in a day, others take a few months to adjust. The most important thing is to start each day and to use each day to work towards your goal of a compassionate vegan diet. So like I say, basically what I want to touch upon firstly is obviously the brutality of the beef and dairy industries. Like I say, meat, cattle, I say, are gregarious animals who in a more natural environment would live in a complex social groups. They would choose a leader and from close relationships, grooming and licking each other to show their affection. So that's how really compassionate they are. But I say cattle farming obviously upsets the hierarchy in many ways because new members and divisions of the herd occur frequently, and this can obviously be very disruptive to them. So I say touching upon the conditions that they actually live in. I say cattle are bred for beef, may be kept in a variety of obviously different systems. Frequently they're kept in windowless, basically fattening sheds really, just to fatten them up until they're obviously ready for slaughter. They have little room to move, as you all know, and they have no access to the outside to feel fresh air and sunlight. So it's just like being a virtual prisoner, and that's what it is. How they're killed, and I'll touch upon this. Cattle are obviously stunned by a shot into their brain through a captive bolt pistol. Frequently they struggle or move around because obviously they're terrified by obviously the situation. So sometimes the bolt misses the mark and the cattle are not stunned properly. Thus they're obviously conscious while they're being killed by having their throat obviously slitting things and bleeding to death. So that's just how cruel the actual environment is. There is no humane way of killing those animals. It's absolutely rubbish. Don't believe what you hear. Touching upon leather as well, purchasing leather obviously ensures the continuity of a massive industry based on animal suffering. But I say in the UK, the leather industry, for instance, makes a huge £600 million a year, mainly from cattle and obviously calf skins. Artificial insemination also as well, touching upon that with the cows. But I say most cows are obviously now artificially inseminated. The cow is tied up in one hand of the inseminator manipulates the cervix through the rectum, whilst the other discharges semen into the vagina and cervix using an insemination gun. I see this is very uncomfortable and it's basically stressful for the cow, and it's just basically, I hate saying this, it's a form of rape basically, and that's exactly what it is, guys. Touching upon obviously the dairy industry, both the mother and the calf suffer greatly at the hands obviously the milk industry, as you all know. But I say the mother to start with, dairy cows have obviously been selectively bred to produce 10 times more milk than they would naturally obviously need to feed their calves. This can lead to mastitis, a painful udder infection, and lameness where they are forced to stand all day in a cowshed. So there you go, guys. That's just how evil this industry really is. In order to produce milk, the mother must be kept continually pregnant. So 3 months after she's given birth and while she's still producing milk, she will be made pregnant. This puts obviously a huge massive strain on her and can cause massive illnesses to her as well. Obviously I say the calf is taken away soon after birth so that any milk produced by the cow can be sold for humans to obviously drink. The mother and the calf form a strong bond very quickly, and the cow continuously calls after her has been taken away from her. The separation causes a lot of confusion, obviously distress to the calf. So if you think of it this way, it's basically like your kid being taken away from you. They are no different in any way, guys, so I don't believe any different what you may think. But I say the cow is obviously put through heartbreaking and exhausting procedure, not once, but an average of at least 5 times, until she's deemed to be no use to the farmer and killed. So there you go. It's just basically used to their advantage to when it can produce to them, and then once it's out their way, that's it, you're gone. But I say organic milk production and organic farms, the dairy cow still has to deal with continual pregnancies, and the mother and calf are still separated very soon after birth as well. Castration and obviously disbudding of calves may be still carried out, and as non-organic farm slaughter is inevitable. But I say that this just shows you, so don't believe anything about organic is any better, because there's still a lot of cruelty goes on in there as well. The calf is usually disbudded, whereby a heated iron is applied to the horn buds to stop the horns growing. I say this is a really painful procedure and obviously stressful as well. Male cattle are obviously castrated by methods that cause the animal acute pain. Female calves are obviously kept to produce milk. Male calves are usually sent abroad for like veal or deemed useless and then obviously killed as well. Like I say, it's absolutely sheer misery. And talking about that, going on to the sheep here as well for obviously meat and wool purposes as well. Like I say, sheep are obviously social herd animals who tend to be gentle and obviously passive as well. They've been obviously found to be desolate when they're close to them, they die or are sent to slaughter. So like I say, they basically get very lonely when they're not in a pack, and when they obviously get desolate and things as well. Obviously, when farmed for their flesh, and obviously wool sheep are exposed to a series of obviously different stresses and abuses right throughout their life. Touching upon the first one, obviously castration. Lambs are castrated with a rubber ring around their obviously testicles and things, or by having them cut off with a knife, usually without anaesthetic as well. So you can just imagine the pain, you know what I mean? That really does touch upon it. Even the government body DEFRA has said account should be taken not only of the pain and distress caused by castration, but obviously the stress imposed by gathering and obviously herding, and the potential risk of infection for obviously young lambs gathered up in large groups. But I say there's obviously a massive risk of the mismothering, which can be led ultimately to starvation and obviously death as well. Obviously, you touch upon things like the tail docking and things as well. But I say during the mutilation, the lamb's tail is obviously usually removed by means of a tight rubber ring. Through a knife or hot iron may be used. Again, anaesthetic is very rarely used, if at all. Sheep are also put through a barrage of often stressful procedures, including artificial insemination, force feeding, dipping, and obviously spraying as well. Killing for meat, obviously, sheep are usually slaughtered by electrical stunning, followed by having their throats slit. Same procedure as obviously the cows, and sheep may obviously regain consciousness through this happening, where their body's been drained and things, and you can only imagine the terrifying procedure that is for them as well. It's absolutely terrible. Obviously, I say wool, there's obviously a suffering in every single stitch as well. The wool industry is a massive profit-making industry in itself, as you all know, as well as obviously the cruelties involved in the rearing of the meat. The additional practices of muleizing and obviously sheep shearing cause even greater suffering to the sheep used in obviously the wool production. Basically, mulesing, to describe this is obviously a practice that is obviously carried out across Australia, where much of the wool available in obviously the UK comes from, and obviously it's used to introduce the risk of fly strike. Fully conscious lambs obviously have chunks of flesh sliced from their back end. So the lamb may be in excruciating pain and left with obviously a wound that takes obviously weeks and maybe longer to obviously heal. Shearing, like I say, that is obviously an extremely stressful thing, as you all know. The sheep has obviously been forced to be restrained as the workers obviously rush to shear them and things. And obviously they get bloody injuries and things as well. You see some of the sheep with half their faces obviously showing off as well. In Australia alone, like I say, an estimated 1 million sheep die every year for that exposure to shearing. But I say, touching upon that and obviously the live export and transportation thing as well. But I say current methods of transportation of sheep are obviously extremely crude and present a number of welfare concerns. During loading and obviously unloading, frightening or tired sheep are obviously not treated with sympathy, and instead they're pushed and hit by stockmen. Like I say, they certainly cause unnecessary fear in the animals, and obviously this may cause them to slip or fall, resulting in obviously cuts, bruises, or even worse, broken bones and things like that as well, guys. So, but I say, while they've been transported, the sheep are obviously crammed in with not even enough space to obviously turn around. So it's basically just like a wee box, basically. And journeys that can obviously last days and often even weeks at a time, actually. But I say the conditions are obviously appalling, as you can well guess. Sheep may suffer from obviously starvation, dehydration, injury, and obviously disease, and that may fall to the floor and obviously occur to actual death as well. And that's what I say, many before they even arrive before their destination. So I hope you have liked this one, and the next one I'll be touching upon is obviously chickens, and obviously basically if you get on to things like the fish and obviously pigs, bugs' lives, and why go vegan and things like that. And then the next one after that, I'll be touching upon where we get all our vitamins, calcium, iron, protein, things like that from going vegan. So I hope you like this, guys, and please comment below if you liked this video, and I hope to speak to you all soon. Remember, guys, binge on life, purge negativity, and starve guilty feelings. Speak to you all soon, and love you so much.